Good morning. Good morning to you. So, good morning. Another live chat, y'all. Inspirational. And this one is informational. So, this video is going out to the lead attorney. Several reasons. The first one is I tune into the lead attorney because I like his content. He is giving us information about divorce and prenups and the child support system from a legal standpoint. Okay, I have children. I have grown children. I have a grown son and a grown daughter, and they come to me for information, for my input, and I want to be able to give them good information, and I get a lot of good information from the lead attorney. Okay, now, lead attorney, I am talking to you. I am introducing myself. Good morning. I am Chris. I'm the teacher in the 757 area. You convinced me, lead attorney, that I could do this, that I could have a YouTube channel. You convinced me that I should have a YouTube channel. You told me that I had information to share, experiences to share. And I agree. I agree 100%. And besides, I'm a teacher. It's what I do. I'm just making my classroom has become a little bit larger. Now, yes, I have information to share, but I also have a lot to learn. And so I am learning a lot on these YouTube streets. Anyway, that's the first reason that I want to shout out to you, introduce myself. It's because of you that I have created this YouTube channel. So, thank you very much. And it's good to meet you, lead attorney. Why? Because I got a daughter, a single daughter. I made a comment on your page. I said to you, lead attorney, please stop saying, please don't say that you are dead inside. First of all, you don't want to put that kind of thought out into the universe. You are not dead inside. I asked you then to, swap dead for numb. See, what's dead cannot come alive. But what is numb can be stimulated, agitated, given a been paused. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm traveling. I'm on the road, and I'm having some technical difficulties. Anyway, what is numb can be brought back to life, lead attorney. And so, as a parent, as a mother of a single daughter, I'm thinking, okay, he might be, okay, but that is not something that I, as a parent, would be comfortable with as I'm thinking about, introducing a person to my daughter or encouraging her, someone who thinks that they're dead inside. And I understand why you say what you say, because of what you've done and what you've seen and experienced. And yeah, I get that. But yeah, let's swap that Australia caught your attention. And it caught my attention too, because I have experience with the mentally ill. As I mentioned in my first stream, live chat, car chat, say what you mean what you say, I mentioned that my mother was mentally ill. Okay? You gave a scenario. You used yourself in the story, in the scenario. You said, okay, your scenario was, you got your interns and you all are having your meeting, and he comes in and does the unthinkable. Okay, well, you were saying that you would be liable legally because you knew. Well, I knew. And not only did I know, but I'm not the only one who knows that their family members are not well. We know that they're not well. What we don't know, what I did not know, was that she would do an unthinkable. She didn't do what he was talking about doing to himself. Oh no. She did much worse. Much worse. Much worse. So she was paranoid, for one. And she had these unreasonable and irrational thoughts about what people were doing to her. Her thing was, they're stealing her electricity. How? In her mind, if there was a rusty nail in the house, somebody put it there, and they put it there for the purpose of stealing her electricity. Anyway, the unthinkable. She had it in her mind that the people next door were stealing the electricity. It didn't matter that she had literally tortured me in forcing me to spend time underneath the house in the crawl space. Why? Because she had to go out. I might lose y'all because I'm going into a tunnel. But I would, she would have to go out for whatever reason, run an errand, and her mind told her that when she was away from the house, they would come in, put rusty nails so that they could steal rusty nails, rusty something, anything rusty, any kind of rusty metal was being used. And so she would have me go under the house and stay. She bought me a nice old sleeping bag. She bought a television, radio that ran on batteries so that I could watch television while I was down there. All I could do was lay and watch television or listen to the radio, which I did a lot of. and say that the people came into the space where I was and did what they did, in spite of me being there. Okay. Unreasonable. Irrational. That's what it was. That's what it had been for as long as I knew her. But this is the point. This is when it just got, well, she did an unthinkable. So it was one night she was fiddling around doing stuff. She didn't talk. She didn't tell me what she was up to. But I was nosy. And I was watching. It was night. So she didn't know I was watching her. I was watching her. She went outside. She was doing something out there. She had a blowtorch. She had bought a blowtorch a while back. She was outside in the back of the house. And then I came to find out she wasn't in the back of our house. She was in the back of the people next door house with that blowtorch. And she set the house on fire. The people next door were a family with children. And she set the house on fire. I didn't know what to do. I was a teenager. The consequence of my actions would have been detrimental to me. I didn't know who to call. I didn't know where to go. I was taught, it was drummed into my head that what goes on in the house stays in the house. And I am not the only one who came up with parents who had that mindset and who taught that to them. That's the reason why stuff happens in people's houses for years and nobody knows about it, because what goes on in the house stays in the house. That's how it is that uncle gets to come over and do unthinkable things with his niece. That's how it is that granddad does stuff that he ain't got no business doing. That's how it is that grandma be... Anyway, we know something is wrong. What we don't know is if they will do an unthinkable. That's these folks who are... I don't know what to do. I didn't know what to do then, and I really don't know what to do now. I work with the public. The mentally ill public can come into my workplace anytime they want to. They can say and do any doggone thing they want to. And they do. Oh, the stuff I see. But from a legal point of view, what should I have done as a teenager, as a young person? What should I have done? What could I have done? Even now. Okay. So now that I'm a little bit older, a little bit wiser, I've got some teaching experience under my belt. I have to put words together that will I have learned how to put words together in such a way that I can influence the hearer. But I don't know what words to use. I don't know what words to use for the mentally ill. I don't know what words to use. I don't know how to empower someone, a young person who is living with that situation, that particular, well, any kind of mental illness. Now watch this. So I recognize her particular symptoms, issues, her verbiage, that paranoia kind of verbiage. But that didn't help me when I got older and I ran across a narcissist. I didn't recognize narcissistic behavior. That too is a mental, emotional, behavioral disorder. I didn't recognize it. Didn't look the same as my mother's. So you know what I did? I married it. Ugh. I married it. I can tell you now. I can tell you now what narcissistic behavior looks like. I found out on these YouTube streets. It ended up in my algorithm. Surviving Narcissism with Dr. Ben Carlson, I think. But definitely the name of the subject matter is, or the name of the channel is Surviving Narcissism, and he gave me all kinds of information to help me know and understand and recognize that I had married a narcissist. Now, say what you mean what you say. Remember I said that just the other day? Well, guess what? I made a covenant agreement. I said out of my mouth that I would, in good times and in bad times, in sickness and in health. I said that. I made a covenant agreement. And within a year and a half maybe, I knew, really for real, what I had done. So, I can tell you now, I know now when a narcissistic personality steps into my personal space. Oh, I know. I recognize it. I know paranoia when I hear it. Unreasonable, irrational, paranoia. I'm truck driver is on my behalf. Why? I don't know. I swear. Truck drivers really. I have a high expectation for truck drivers. You all know what you're dealing with. Why would you roll up on somebody in a car, in your truck? It's disrespectful is what it is. Why would you encroach upon somebody's personal space? There's a boundary. You know you're supposed to stay a certain amount of distance behind a vehicle. You're in a truck. You know that you can't stop on a dime. So why would you pull up on anybody? And because you're in a truck and your vehicle is large, you are intimidating. Okay. I'm ranting. So, lead attorney, thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much. Oh, getting back to my daughter. You wouldn't like her because she's the total opposite of what is visually appealing to you. You like short, round. She's not 6'3". She's about maybe 5'6". She's a little taller than I am. She looks like me a little bit. That means she's pretty. She's 5'6" and lean. She works out, so she's curvy, but she's lean. She's lean, very lean. So yeah. So dead inside, and you like them short. No. Yeah. I don't know what to do. I didn't know what to do with that personality, that paranoid personality then. I didn't know what to do with her after she set the house on fire. I never told anybody that. You all are hearing it for the first time. This is the first time that is coming out of my mouth. Secret keeper. I was the secret keeper. Kept a whole lot of secrets. That's a chat for another time. Secret keeper. We can't do it. We can't do it. We shouldn't do it. But I don't know. I don't know how to. I don't know the best way. The best. Okay. One more thing that happened, or that happens, and we don't talk about it. We keep it to ourselves. Inappropriate behavior. Young women. Dirty old men. Inappropriate behavior. Saying inappropriate things. Doing inappropriate things. Happens to me in my work. It happened to me in my life. Didn't know what to do. Didn't know where to go. Didn't know what to say. I could have told her husband what he was doing, but I didn't trust that she would believe me. So I didn't even open up my mouth and tell him to stop. like a deer in the headlights. That was when I was younger, much younger. Now, as I'm older, this is what I said in the most recent event. Man, knock that shit off. Probably shouldn't have said that way because I was at work and that's totally unprofessional. But that was what I thought. That was what I saw. He's in a public space arousing himself, okay? And then he says something to me. He'll say something to me so that I would look up and look at him and see his arousal. So I told him to knock it off. Knock it off. And so he stopped. And he began to have conversation and say some things to me. And what he let me know was he was getting a disability check. He was a young man. He was in his 30s. So you don't get disability unless there's something wrong. Something was wrong with him. I thought that I had strung the words along in such a way that he understood. I let him know you're being watched. If you continue this, you will not be able to come back into this public building. This is not what we need to have happening in this space. So that didn't work. It did not work because even though he came back into the space on more than one occasion, and he did not do it, which is why I thought that we had an understanding. He did come back in, and he did it again. This time, I said, "You back at that again?" And he left. He hurried up and left. He got up out of there. You still doing this? Oh, shoot. I am so late. I was tired. This morning. Okay. Now I'm rambling. I said all of that to say this. We know that our loved ones are not well. Okay? We know. You know. They are doing things that ain't right. They are saying things are not reasonable. Okay? What you don't know is the lengths that they will go to. So, I need help. I need instruction. I need to do more research. I get emails on this subject matter. I get points of views on this subject matter. But where the rubber meets the road, if it's my family member, what do I do? What if it's my mother? She's my caretaker. She's the one who feeds me and roofs me and takes care of me. What do I do? What if I don't know how to take? What if I'm an adult child? Now I'm talking about my niece. What if I'm an adult child And my mother is so domineering and controlling that I can't escape. My brother married a crazy woman. I've never seen anything like her issue. I'm surrounded by crazy. I wonder sometimes, I question whether I will be, if these things will affect me, this mental illness. Oh, my brother, according to his evil wife, had Alzheimer's, and that is what killed him. Okay. I have no evidence to say otherwise. Her niece would say she killed him. She slowly poisoned him to death. But we don't know that to be true. But what I'm saying to you is that she's evil. She starts a fight and dares you to say something. She wish you would say something. She wants you to say something. I've never seen that. I've never seen that before in my life. She would not let, she did not let him or my niece speak on the phone unless she was on it. It was on speakerphone. She heard she hears every conversation. We could not take her daughter out. We couldn't run up to Walmart and, take her out for ice cream. We couldn't do nothing. Not without her. She couldn't go nowhere without her. I think that my brother spent a lot of time outside the house. He had 2 jobs because he didn't want to be home, and I understand that. Remember, I married a narcissist. I hated being home. I hated being in the house. I hated being in his presence. And I was married for 15 years. That was the dark period of my life. Oh, you know what? I forgot that these car chats are supposed to be inspirational and informational. Okay, so the dark period of my life, that's going to have to happen in my story time at twilight. So, I have reached my destination. Thank you all for riding to work with me. I appreciate you keeping me company. Lead attorney, it was nice meeting you. And I am going to bid you all adieu. Have a great day, and I love you all to life.